What was Earth's biggest explosion? Explosion. Mighty Earth detonations scale up from massive nuclear bombs to enormous volcanoes to devastating asteroid impacts. From early asteroid bombardment to the development of nuclear weapons, some massive detonations have battered our planet. But Earth's biggest explosion varies by the scale you're considering, from human-created to blasts from giant space rocks. Among the largest human-caused explosions on record, a Soviet superweapon called Tsar Bomba topped the list. Meanwhile, the biggest explosion with a terrestrial origin came from the climate-altering Toba supervolcano more than 70,000 years ago. As for the biggest blast from an extraterrestrial source that left clear evidence, an asteroid heavier than the one that killed the dinosaurs calved the enormous Vredefort crater 2 billion years ago. That is, unless you count the moon as evidence, a collision with the planet-sized impactor 4.5 billion years ago likely created Earth's satellite, releasing enough energy to dwarf anything the planet has seen since. The biggest human blasts, Minor Threat, an intentional blast in 1985, packed the most powerful of any non-nuclear explosion in history. Sam Rippey, an associate professor at the Blast and Impact Engineering Research Group at the University of Sheffield in the UK, told Life Science, a U.S. military operation designed to observe the outcomes of nuclear-scale blasts. Minor Threat used 1,700 tons of ammonium nitrate and fuel oil to produce a 4.7 kiloton TNT explosion. That's nearly one-third of the force of Little Boy, the atom bomb that devastated Hiroshima, or World War II, with a 15 kiloton blast. While minor scale approaches the size of early atomic bombs, more advanced nuclear weapons made even that tremendous blast too tiny. In 1961, the Soviet Union dropped a gigantic thermonuclear bomb over the desert Novaya Zemlya islands north of Russia, called Tsar Bomba. It exploded with a force of 50 to 60 megatons of TNT, making it the largest nuclear explosion ever unleashed. George William Herbert, an Harvard professor at the James Martin Center for Non-Proliferation Studies in California, told Life Science, it detonated with more than 3,300 times the power of Little Boy, and the fireball was wider than area of the damage that was done in Hiroshima. Herbert said the bomb's energy yield could have caused nearly 6.5 kilometers from ground zero of complete destruction, Rabbit said, or nearly double that estimate when accounting for explosion duration. The bomb's original design would have been even more powerful, reaching 100 megatons of TNT, but military planners reduced the explosive yield so the bomber could fly away safely, Herbert said. Biggest terrestrial blast. Earth itself has unleashed megaton-plus explosions for eons. The largest volcanic eruption in recorded history struck what is now Indonesia in 1815, when Mount Tambora blew off its 13,000-foot, 4,000 meters peak, according to NASA Earth Observatory. By measure of thermal energy, Tambora detonated with the equivalent of 800 megatons of TNT, more than 14 times Tsar Bomba's yield. An Oregon State University volcanologist told Life Science, the sound of this epic blast resonated as far away as Sumatra, 1,615 miles distant, according to the Geological Society of London.